All right, what's up, everybody? My name is Jose, and I'm gonna be talking about chapter 7. And I think this was my favorite chapter personally, just because it talked about influence and the power of influence in an organization and both just in general in life. Um, if you're able to influence other people, both around you and beneath you, then it's gonna take you very far away. This involves both just tactics, the way you communicate with others, expectations. There's just a variety of ways that you can influence. There's also ways that you can't influence others that you have to avoid. I think the one thing that stood out to me right away, right when I opened the chapter, was the quote that they said, and it was leadership is based on the exercise of influence. Leading means influencing, since leaders must modify the attitudes and behaviors of followers in order to help groups reach their goals. I thought that was just spot on, right to the point. Um, the reason why influencing is so important is because you want to try to reach a common goal. Um, if you're not able to influence as a leader, then honestly, your job's not being done correctly. Um, this doesn't have to be forced. This can just be simply being able to communicate with others, letting them know kind of what you expect from them as a group, and potentially even individually. You need to tell people what your expectation is. Um, which that leads me into the conversation of expectations. Um, this has a powerful impact, just both on the organization as and on yourself as well. Um, Being able to properly communicate what the expectation is of an individual, and also as a group, can lead to success as an organization. But then on the flip side, it can also lead to a big downfall. It can also lead to tension. It can lead to arguments. It can lead to just a lot of disastrous effects overall for the company. Um, Another thing that I thought was really interesting was the four channels of signaling high or low expectancies. Um, the four channels were climate, feedback, input, and also output. Um, these are kind of the four things or the four ways that you kind of determine the expectations of others. The climate is kind of the way that the company maneuvers, the way they act within the organization, kind of the culture that you're creating overall for the company. The feedback is really important. I know this is really important just because even as I was a player, I would like to get feedback from my coach. You know, if I was performing well, if I wasn't performing well, what can I do to get better? But also letting them know in the proper channel or the proper way, what they're doing wrong or what they're doing good. Sometimes it's okay to give praise, but it's also important to let them know what they're doing wrong. Um, Input is really important as well. If as a leader, I think you should be able to accept um, the feedback or what you're doing wrong, and just not taking things too personal. This is a way that this is something that you implement as you're creating your climate. Um, and then finally, your output, the way that you're delivering the message. Are you communicating on a rational level? Is it through email or anything along those lines? It's really important on getting your point across and ultimately influencing others. So that's my chapter, and thank you for watching.